Good evening, this is Martin Walter, and this is chapter, or actually I should say video number 19 from An American Experience, from the book by Martin Bolt. There's a, there's a ton of articles in this book about 72, and it's about a lot of different things, mainly comparing Germany and or slash Europe to the United States of America, what the differences are in several numerous fields, and also some things which I comment on a more personal basis, personal level. What I feel I should put in that book so people can read it, can relate to it, and maybe pass it on. One of these things is hiring culture. Hiring culture, I could extend that to hiring and firing culture. Hiring culture, the article itself starts in the book on page 206. Hiring culture is different, okay? I don't know if it has to do with the times we live in, but when I was in Germany, which is not too long ago, maybe 12 years since I had my job interview my last job interview in Germany, what they do different in Germany, they interview you, okay? If you are applying for a job online, most of the time you call in and somebody is gonna have an interview with you, a face-to-face meeting. It might not be the hiring official, might not be the boss, depends on how big the company is, but there's gonna be somebody who's gonna give you an interview, pre-qualify you, see what type of person you are, personality-wise, if the material you submitted prior to the interview matches the person sitting in front of the guy or woman. In America, when I apply for a job, most of the time, unless it's low wage jobs which start at $7.25, where apparently Burger King or McDonald's or IHOP or whatever have you don't really care too much what type of personality that person has or what type of pre-qualification that person has. It's all the same to them, hire and fire mentality basically. So, but other jobs which require more qualifications, more pre-qualifications, certain amount of people only can apply for it, they want to have everything done online, and they decide on the basis what they see online whether or not they should give you a chance, which consists of an interview, an invitation to an interview. And I kind of reject that for the simple reason that you don't really know who that person is, who's filling out all that questionnaires, submitting all that paperwork, and backing up your resume, etc., until you meet that person, okay? I know, for instance, people with 2 master's degrees who have a GS7 job in the US government for 20 years, okay? Then, that was just one example. And that person doesn't have any other experience than having used his or her GI Bill for obtaining the degrees and then getting a job in the government. So he or she has served in the US Army for some years, got the GI Bill into effect, and then got out of the army, got to do a government job, and then thus made 2 degrees, but he or she doesn't have no experience other than sitting in their government job for whatever time, 5, 7, 10 years. So what my point is, you cannot really say who's gonna come for that interview. So yet you try to be very selective who to invite to that interview. Of course you have to pre-qualify, but you don't know nothing really until the person sits in front of you with their original documentation of the original degrees also available, ready to show to you. So that's just my personal opinion. I think interviewing is better. Yes, you can pre-qualify if the person, if the person is 18 years old and you need some experienced person on that job, you don't necessarily want to invite that person for an interview in the first place. But if you have 50 people who are 25 or older, who are looking, and you're looking for an experienced person in that field, you don't really know who you're gonna invite for the interview. So I say take some time to interview people. I think that's much more efficient because you just don't know. You just don't know who that person is behind that paperwork which is being submitted. Yes, you click online and you say, yes, I admit, I guarantee, whatever have you, that this is my personal paperwork. I filled this all out and stuff like that, you know. Your guess, your chance. I wouldn't do it. I think inviting people for an interview based on some factors, of course, that they submit works much better. As it works here, you spend like 2 hours on an online application, which based on one or two factors get thrown out, whoever receives it, and that's the end of that. 2 hours wasted. Why not just fill out basic, really basic information within 10 minutes and then get an interview and then sort the people out from that interview forward? I think that's much better. Next thing is hiring culture and firing culture. Firing culture, okay? Now this is a major difference. It depends on what you like. You can make up your own mind. But I tell you straight up, Germany's system is much more expensive. We pay a lot of taxes, not only for gold-plated roadways and perfect autobahns and a lot of museums and nicely kept up historical sites and stuff like that, but we pay a lot for the social system. I mentioned that before, a lot, okay? That translates into job security. That translates into, if you have a job, or let's say if you lose a job, you are not sitting on the street. Bare none. That's a simple difference. You are helped. By the moment you walk off that job, you are helped. Okay, you can apply for unemployment benefits right away. No matter what your situation is, no matter how long you are on that job, no matter how short you are on the job, no matter what your family situation, if you're single, father, mother, if you're single male, if you have 15 kids or no kids, if you are 85 or if you're 18, it doesn't make a difference. You can apply and will get unemployment benefits. And you will also be able to get help looking for a new job. You have a personal advisor you can go to if you want to every week and sort through the job applications and stuff like that. And you're good. You get, if you live in a big city or at least a city with some sort of bus connections and train connection, you can get also train tickets. You can get a monthly admissions card for train and buses and stuff like that. So they will help you, they will support you, the system that is, and they will guide you, okay? And you don't have to fear that you cannot pay your mortgage or cannot provide food for your family, because that's not going to happen, especially if you have kids. Here's your money. Okay, they will support you. They will support you for a very long time, and even longer if they see you make active improvements and you make something for yourself as far as progress is concerned. You really try hard. That's what they want to see. If you do that, you're good on your way, you know. If you don't do that, they kind of want to hurry you and hush you, and after whatever amount of time they try to cut the benefits a little bit for just to show you, okay, we are serious, you need to get going here, okay? But that takes some time. Difference in America, at least where I live in Northern Oklahoma, you lose your job and you don't have no benefits. From the moment you walk out the door, boom, you're going down hard. Why? Because you don't get benefits if your ex-employer can prove that you got fired for misconduct. And misconduct is a wide open field, I tell you that. That's the first thing ex-employer tries to do, is going to try to do to you, misconduct, okay? That's the magic word. So they try to stamp on you, misconduct, fired, okay? Now, what you going to do? Either you are versed in law and can also write essays, write letters, sort through legal paperwork, know how to submit an application, know how to submit a appeal form to the unemployment agency, and in short, and and also keep track of everything which happened at work, and can mention time, dates, events, and everything which basically disproves their allegations that you got fired for misconduct. If you cannot do none of that, bad news. And if you don't have nobody who can help you, you're going down. No money, period. Or it takes forever. Let's say you are capable of doing all that. It still can take forever until your employment benefit gets reinstated. Okay, they will tell you, okay, we got your unemployment suggestion, or I mean application, but we're going to hold your money or hold it until we make a decision on that. So that can take a long time, even though if you're on the ball and submit your appeal, submit your forms right away and stuff like that. So that can take a long time. Okay, and then what is misconduct? Of course they're going to try to stick misconduct on you. So if you cannot do all that paperwork, if you're not versed in the legal system, in appeal forms and all that good stuff, then you still can hire a lawyer. You're gonna hire a lawyer and pay him $2,500 for filling out some forms. If you have that kind of money after you got fired and don't know about your future employment, go right ahead, fine. All my support. You can do that too. If you have none of that, and they were somehow successful in sticking misconduct on you, you lost. You walk off that job and you are lost. You get no money whatsoever. So you got to hurry up and get yourself a new job. But that's the main difference, okay? And I think that's also part of why I experienced personally that brown nosing and unprofessional, I would call them, work relationships are blossoming more where I live than where I come from. Because in Germany, you have job security, okay? You don't have to take all crap from your job, or from your manager, or from your coworker. I know there is laws against it, sexual harassment and equal employment opportunity laws and stuff like that. But there's also so much which gets brushed under the rug, or there's so much which is very subtle. And then there is, of course, the tone. Your supervisor can tell you in all sorts of kinds of tone what she wants to get done from you, and that can be very disrespectful. But you are supposed to take it because he's your supervisor, or she's your supervisor, and nothing you can do about it because it is not misconduct. It's supposed to be, or it's viewed to be, a professional relationship. She is your supervisor. He can give you orders, of course. So there is a very wide variety of disrespect, of really harassment from your supervisors, from your bosses, which you can do nothing about it because you can prove nothing of it, or it is not considered too severe. It's considered part of a usual, cordial, normal work environment. In Germany, you don't have to deal with any of that. You will be covered, maybe not as much for as much money as you make on the job, but it will be sufficient to support you for a long time. And if you work a little bit with the employment agency, then you can make a decent living and don't have to suffer, or your family has to suffer for you having lost your job. So that's not the case. They are going to help you out. So whatever system you think is better, it's really up to you. If we would bring that German quality system and introduce that into the parts of the United States, taxes have to be raised. That's one of the many reasons we pay much more taxes than the US citizen, at least here in Oklahoma, does, because we have built that social security network, which supports a working man who has 2 kids and a wife, who has 2 cars, food, and house, whatever have you, and stuff like that. So if he is mistreated by his boss, or sexually harassed, or whatever have you, and he can prove none of it, and he walks off because he can't take it no more, he has a social security net. Doesn't exist here. She has to take whatever within a certain framework, of course, of acceptance from the boss what he have to. So there is the difference. So do you want to pay 10% more taxes and be secure or securer in your job, or you don't want to pay 10% more taxes and leave it as is? So whatever system is better, I don't really want to throw judgment on either system. I kind of want to, but I kind of withheld from that. So you make up your mind. I just want to tell you about the difference between hiring and firing culture in the United States and Germany. Thank you.